Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. One of the things we have always spoken about in this channel and in Tamil channel is the importance of the birth rate replacement, which is happening across the globe. Population seems to be in a steady decline. Demographies are changing all over the world, and this is something which is more of a pressing issue economically than a lot of other things if you really look at it. And there was a very interesting article which came out in The Economist, which I thought me and Anand can talk about today. So, without wasting further time, I thought I'll take Anand's opinion on this, on why he thinks it's such an important factor. The falling population across the globe, why is this going to be a big economic hurdle globally for all countries, not just the ones we've always spoken about, which is Japan, Korea, and we've spoken about regions in India itself, comparing North and South India, where there's been a huge drop in population in southern India compared to northern India. Anand has spoken extensively about this. So I thought we'll talk a little more about this, the nuances of it, why it's happening. Why is this huge population replacement drop which is happening? So Anand, without wasting further time, what is the main reason for this population decline?
First, you have to understand more than 50% of the world is below the fertility replacement level of 2.1. And most of the Western world is below this level. America, what they are doing is they are allowing a lot of immigrants to come in. So they are able to keep it stable, but it's based on immigration, not on birth. Like I pointed out to India itself, there are two Indias, North and South India. And what is the main fundamental reason is child has become a liability instead of an asset. Till 1950s or early 40s, when the West started producing lesser kids, a child was an asset because as soon as 7 or 8 years, you could send it to work and collect money. So it was an asset. Instead, you became a, it was
Liability.
today, it's a liability because you have to educate your child. And because the number of children have reduced in countries like China and also parts of India, which have a strong family sense. Now, four grandparents have one grandchildren. So they
True,
are called the new
true,
emperors and empresses. They have become pampered. So what was a liability has become what was an asset has become a liability.
very true. This
I
is
don't
very
have kids, but you.
Yes,
I
what you're
don't
saying
have
is
kids.
absolutely no, no. What you're saying is absolutely true. When you're
Right.
talking about there's a mind shift which has happened within a generation to two, where everyone wanted more and more children because the more children you have, the more income you could generate for your family as a household as such. And even when
Yeah.
it came to education, only the
Mm.
eldest or the brightest in the family would get the opportunity to get an education and to go further, and relied upon that person, whoever got the education and further development, to carry the load of the rest of the family, in turn bringing more money and revenue for the household. And
Yeah.
this is
But
very true. Now,
the problem is the
hmm,
cost of education has become prohibitively expensive. We have two kids in school, so you know how expensive it is, right?
as I
So it's very expensive to send to kids to school and college. And
true,
when you come to college, if you don't send them to the tier one college, tier two, tier three, you better not send because there is no use. So the tier one colleges are charging more and more. The
absolutely
other
true.
the other health reason is infant mortality is no more a problem. In 1950s and 60s, infant mortality was longer. You had more children because you don't know how many will survive.
True.
So you had more kids because you didn't know how many would survive. If you had six kids, two will survive. But that infant mortality problem is solved with vaccination.
True.
So with the rise of vaccination, you had a combination of lower infant mortality and higher and the fact that it was becoming a child was a liability meant the number of kids produced has come down.
True.
And in my lifetime, which is only 56, I can see the change of family structure completely.
True.
There is a complete breakdown of the joint family system and family values, which I didn't think will happen in my lifetime. It's happened. I used to know, I still know my mother's cousins, not my cousins. My mother's cousins and my father's cousins, I know them. Today, coming down to my nephew's generation, they won't know my cousins.
True.
And they won't have enough aunts and uncles to know all the in. India, every aunt has a different name.
True.
Mother's sister, mother's brother's wife, father's sister, father's brother's wife are elementary different types. You now today won't have all that, and there is no cohesiveness. You everything has become nuclear. I never thought a day will come in India where you will have old age homes. Okay, our parents are dead; they stayed with us till the very end. My grandparents stayed with us till the very end on both sets. There was no thought of either my parents or grandparents going to a old age house and trying to live separately. The concept did not was not there. But now you have special colonies for old age people. These are changing times where children don't have time for parents. I remember my mother telling my wife that when I was in third standard, you had to write an essay on the head of the family. And I said, my grandfather is the head of the family, and I wrote an essay. They marked it zero and called my mother. And my mother told me he wrote the truth because in my house, my father in law is the head of the family. So he said, that's what he's been taught. He is the grandfather, is the head of the family.
True.
Everything you have to ask him, right? That is what we were taught, and that's what I wrote. But
True.
that system has broken down,
Very true.
and that is because of declining population.
Very true. My
And
question
so
is, what do you think the solution is?
it is irreversible.
Hmm.
Japan has shown it's irreversible.
Hmm. Incentives don't work.
It's listen to me. The world is killing itself. You were worried about a nuclear bomb destroying yourself.
Hmm.
But the basic thing in life for biology is the need to procreate. That is, you want to pass on your genes.
Hmm.
If a species does not think it is necessary to pass
Pass
on
on.
its genes, that species will not survive. So, unless this is reversed, in 200 years or 300 years from now, humans will be extinct.
So as of
I
now,
can see the Parsis are on the first line to become extinct. It will take
hmm.
about 60, 70 years to finish. The
Hmm.
Japanese are second in line. So sets after set will start to vanish. And this will have a lot of unintended consequences. Government will have more debt. Government will have to spend on more medical care.
Hmm.
Dependency ratios on children will increase because you will
Hmm.
have more adults dependent on less
True.
working population. So people will have to work longer. So retirement will move from 60 to 75.
Hmm.
You will have more older working people.
Hmm.
Need for geriatric services will improve. Will need
Hmm.
requirement will go. You will have more old age homes.
Hmm.
You will have lesser corporate culture because corporate and private enterprise take they should be risk taking.
Hmm.
When you don't have youngsters, where will you take risks?
True. As an investor, do you think the
Hmm.
future of investing we should look at industries which are allied to healthcare, who are allied to geriatrics?
You should look at where the market is addressing people in their mid 40s and 50s
Hmm.
worldwide. And in India, it is still too early
Hmm.
because India is a homogeneous market. The
True.
North is still producing enough children.
Hmm. Well, the
So
south
you,
is decline.
where the South is declining.
Hmm.
But in India, what will happen is the per capita income in South will increase.
Hmm.
So because as population begins to decline,
Hmm.
GDP of the state increase, overall turnover per capita income will increase.
Hmm.
So I don't see a major change in my lifetime in investing side in India. Though next
Hmm.
20 years, I think bonds will give better returns than stocks.
Hmm. What do you think the impact will be on real estate in all this?
No, real estate has already collapsed
Hmm.
because there'll be lesser demand for houses. You
Hmm.
can see it in South. You will have lesser
Hmm.
demand for houses
Hmm.
and lesser labor. The banks can lend lesser and lesser. See, if
Hmm.
you are 25, bank can
Hmm.
give you a 40-year loan.
Hmm.
When the population 25 to 35 population goes down, banks have
Hmm.
to give loans for lesser period.
Hmm.
Forget that your corporate, you can see it in Madras around you. You go
Hmm.
to any restaurant in Madras, you will not
Hmm.
find a South Indian server, you will find a North Indian server.
True.
In all the construction sites, you will see North Indians.
Very
So
true.
there'll be a short. There will be a shortage of skilled labor.
Hmm.
There is a shortage of younger population.
Hmm.
So the risk-taking ability will vanish. People will tend to play safe. Corporates will become top-heavy. Governments will debt will keep on ballooning, giving it very little fiscal space,
True.
and therefore inflation will be higher than what it is today.
That's all interesting points.
Yeah,
Anyway, I hope you guys got an insight onto what is the future impact of this population decline. We've always spoken about it. I thought today we'll take a different spin on it and talk about it as an investor. If you're looking at investing as a youngster at a lifespan, I mean, a horizon of 20, 30 years, where your money should go and what is the future landscape which is going to look for you, be for you, that is, in the next 20, 30 years. So, with this population decline, I think it's one of the most important things as an investor you should keep in mind and look at as you're investing. So, thank you again for joining today on Be Rich. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please think of subscribing to our channel and turning on the bell notification so you'll be notified every time we come out with a new video. And if you think this is something your friends and your family would like, please do share our videos with them. Again, we would like to thank you again for joining us on Be Rich.
thank you for supporting Be Rich. I am in Tokyo on work on the 5th of August 2023. I have a lot of following in Japan, Tokyo. Those who want to meet me in Tokyo on 5th August, kindly drop me an email on the address given below or contact us on WhatsApp there. My team would get in touch with you and facilitate the meeting. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.